This is huge as today we are discussing day one of training camp for the Los Angeles Rams. A couple players already stepping up and making some big time plays. We're going to talk all about it here on today's episode of the Rams Digest. I'm your host, Joshua Giron. Remember, if you guys are not subscribed to the channel, do me a favor. Press that subscribe button now, as roughly 65.7% of you guys are watching the videos, but you're still not subscribed to the channel. All we're asking is that if you're already watching, might as well do us a favor and press that subscribe button so you don't miss any daily Rams content here at the Rams Digest. Apologize for the late upload today. It's been a busy day. You can hear it in my voice. I've been coaching. I'm a basketball coach, so shout out to Joshua Feinhurst for stepping up and kind of helping me out when I've been busy the last couple of days, screaming at some basketball players. But overall, having a good time, ready to be here and talk about day one, a huge day for the Rams. We're sitting talking about their day one of training camp. We're going to kind of give some key points from both sides of offense and defense. Just a couple notes that we are getting from early reports. Obviously, nothing really too major, but definitely nice to see, right? When you see certain players having some good plays, making some plays, if you will. But first, let's give a little shout here to Davante Adams in the screenshot I was able to grab from Twitter. You see him at his first day at Rams camp. He's having a good time. He's excited. He seems happy to be there. And ultimately, I think that's where the Rams are at this point in time, right? Yes, of course, we're in July. We're still a few weeks out before things start getting really, really serious in terms of them having competitive practices, obviously with the pads on, all those good things. But overall, I think the players are definitely excited to be out there. And the Rams team in general, they're all mature, very, professional athletes. And I think, obviously, they're all professional athletes, right? But they really emphasize that professionalism, I think. And we look at Kyren Williams, right, dealing with his contract situation. He's saying, you know what, I think it means a lot to be here regardless of what my contract is. I'm under contract right now, so he's there at training camp. He knows it's a no-brainer. He's going to be there. He's going to support his team, get ready for the season. And I think ultimately that positivity is really key to show where this Rams team is mentally. I think they are positive on the season. I think they all believe in one another. They all seem to be on the same page with one another. We're going to talk about some key leaders already that we've been seeing early in training camp, but overall, that's a good note, I think. Seeing Davante Adams out there, a veteran, a guy who's been in the NFL for a long time, right? Done training camps for a long time. Someone who may even come in and say, you know what, I'm going to stretch a little bit on the side, do some work on the side, not really take this too seriously. It's training camp day one. I'm annoyed to be here. No, he's excited. He's ready to roll because this team has an opportunity to do some good things. And so first, I want to we're talking about the defensive side of things first. Just a couple of little highlights, a couple points we are pulling from some stories. And first things first, we are talking about potentially the Rams, finding out that cornerback room, right? Seeing some guys make some plays today. I think that's what one note that I've heard multiple times come out of the camp so far. One definitely name that we've seen talked about is Cobie Durant, as he had a pair of nice pass breakups apparently. Both passes came from Garoppolo and targeted Puka Nacua on the left sideline. The first would have hit Nacua in stride, and had it not been for a timely lunge from the land shark, as he's called. The second came just as a few minutes later on a back shoulder ball near the same spot. Durant and met Nacua up high to knock the pass away, and then hit an emphatic nay-nay dance in celebration. So again, everyone's having a good time, having fun, and making some plays. And I think that's definitely key here when we're talking about the cornerback position, right? We need these guys to step up. The guys that are in this room, I mentioned this multiple times. I don't mean to talk bad about any guy in this room. I love all of them. I want them all to succeed. But ultimately, they're not the biggest Pro Bowl, multi-Pro Bowl, big-name guys, right? And so they do have to step up and play, to their best of their abilities in terms of the Rams wanting to win a Super Bowl. Of course, they are good NFL players, but they want to win a Super Bowl. Well, these guys got to really step up and play all-pro type level football, right? Cobie Durant already guarding one of the best receivers in the NFL. Now he has to work with, in practice, iron sharpens iron. You're working with Davante Adams on one side and you're working with Puka Nacua on the other. If you're Cobie Durant and all these other cornerbacks, you're going to get that work. You're going to be ready to compete when it comes down to it. Starting off early, so far so good for Cobie Durant. I do want to shout out, by the way, this is coming to us from therams.com. Shout out to Stu Jackson and Wyatt Miller for writing some of these notes down for us that we're talking about. Sticking with the offense side of things, we are talking about, oh, that's not the offense. Sorry, the defense side of things. We are talking about the defense. Forgot. When we're talking about Kobe Durant. Another Kobe on the defensive side of the ball, right? Kobe Turner, as he's leading the defense line out to a team period as the defense made their way to the other practice field for team activities. He took a moment to instill a confident mindset. The 2024 team captain is once again taking on a leadership role during training camp ahead of his third NFL season. Again, it's always so crazy to say, right? Kobe Turner, he's such a leader already for this Rams defense. Like when he came in, right, obviously playing a little bit alongside Aaron Donald, learning from Aaron Donald, the way he carries himself as a person, obviously translating to what he does in the football field, and just being a leader already early in training camp. It's a key, right? He's definitely setting the tone. He's going to come out, talk to these guys, make sure they're ready to roll, because I think all these guys, even a young Kobe Turner who's only 3 years in the NFL, knows and fully understands that this is difficult, this is hard, and if everyone's going to get to that point where they want to play Philadelphia and beat a team like Philadelphia, the defending champs, you have to be on the same page, ready and early. You got to be locked in early all the way through the season, right? Think about last year, how we kind of had that rough start to the season, the rough patches the Rams have had to deal with. I think everyone in this building knows they have to be on the same page all year long if they really want to compete and win this time around when you're playing the Philadelphias. You're trying to get to the NFC Championship games, right? As great of a season, as great as they played toward the end of that season, the Rams fell short a couple of rounds, not just one round, a couple of rounds. Yes, you could say it was one pass away, but ultimately they lost, right? And they lost a couple rounds away from when they ultimately want to be, which is the Super Bowl. And so I think the Rams are understanding coming into the year this year saying, okay, we were really good last year. We added some pieces, lost some pieces. Let's go ahead and take advantage, just put in the work now so we can lay the groundwork for the future of the season. Sorry, real quick, I didn't want to show. We are now transitioning to the offensive side of the ball, right? That was a couple highlights from defense. If you guys want to read the entire article from Stu and Wyatt, you can go ahead and go over to therams.com, read the entire 10 notes that they made. These are just the top 4, 2 on offense, 2 on defense, that I thought were most important, or at least caught my eye when I first read them. And so we're going to the offense side of the ball. One that's really interesting, right? We've been discussing this. Maybe not as much, right? A lot of fans in the comments have hit us up saying, hey, why are we going to sign Amari Cooper? Why are you going to sign another running receiver when you have Tutu Atwell as your third receiver, when you have Jordan Whittington? Don't forget about him. We haven't discussed him that much ultimately on this channel, right here at the Rams Digest. And so I said it early right in the year when we were talking about Tutu Atwell and signing him for $10 million. Hey, maybe Jordan Whittington should get more opportunities as well, and maybe you don't sign Tutu for that much money. Again, players make all the money in the world. I don't care. Not my money, but ultimately, thinking about it from logistically, right? But we haven't talked about Whittington much since then. So Whittington looked comfortable in the spring. The second-year wide receiver told the Rams.com that things are moving slower for him, and he had a better understanding of detailed stuff within the offense. On Wednesday, that comfort and confidence looked evident as a frequent target of Stetson Bennett with multiple catches. The best one was a leaping catch in double coverage as he fell on his back from a pass from Stetson Bennett. So, key point there too, right? Jordan Whittington is also not working with the QB1, not even the QB2. He's working with Stetson Bennett. I think that's obviously him getting his work there, him looking good, looking impressive there. No offense to Stetson Bennett. Of course, he's going to do his thing, trying to fight and compete for his spot on the roster. But ultimately, when it comes down to it, Whittington's going to be catching passes for Matthew Stafford, a little bit more of an accurate quarterback, right? If I may say so myself. And so ultimately, he's looking good now. Wait to see when he gets those opportunities. Hopefully they translate when Matthew Stafford is out there participating as well in training camp, as he's not participating yet, which is our final kind of note here. One key note. Everyone kind of already was ready for this probably, but Matthew Stafford, he spends practice working with trainers away from the field. This was according to plan per head coach Sean McVay, who said he misspoke Tuesday when he told reporters Stafford would work off to the side. McVay said while Stafford could be out at practice, it's most beneficial to get him to feel as good as he can before returning to practice Monday. As expected, Jimmy Garoppolo led the first team offense while Stetson Bennett helmed the second team unit. So I think a positive, right, when your backups are getting the opportunity to step out in there and get some work in. Matthew Stafford, older quarterback. We've been knowing this. We knew he is getting older. We've been talking about it multiple times all year long. Thought about he was going to retire, right? So ultimately, now that you're sitting here dealing with the older quarterback, well, this is kind of the things you deal with a veteran, older quarterback. He's going to deal with some issues. I think this issue right now he's dealing with is a little bit of a back issue. Doesn't seem too concerning, but ultimately he's not going to be participating right now early in training camp as he feels more comfortable and healthy. I'm sure he'll get out there sooner rather than later. Love to see. I can't wait to see those, Stafford to Nacua, Stafford to Adams plays, highlights throughout the next couple of weeks of training camp. Going to be definitely exciting to see. Moving on from that. Last but not least, my favorite part of the episode, Trivia of the Day, where I ask a trivia question. You give your trivia guesses down below in the comment section, whether you're right or whether you're wrong. We give you a shout out on the next episode that I'm on here at the Rams Digest. Last episode Trivia of the Day that I was on was a couple episodes ago, right? So sorry for the wait, but it gave you guys a lot of time to play along with this one. Not too many of you guys did. That's all right. But the ones who did, we'll give you guys your shout outs right now. What Hall of Fame QB once threw more interceptions than touchdowns in a season and still made the Pro Bowl that year? Again, I was talking about this last time. I was kind of joking that, hey, some of these young generations, if they get some of these stats, they're going to start talking smack about the older generation of quarterbacks making Pro Bowls, right, while throwing more interceptions than touchdowns. Not the prettiest of situations for this quarterback that we're going to discuss. Here were the folks who played along with last episode's Trivia of the Day. The Roger Will says, got to be the former Ram with the broken knees. Simple. Joe Namath. Jeff says, I think Blake Corum could more than replace Kyren Williams if given the chance. Interesting note there, Jeff. I don't know if he could more than replace Kyren Williams. I think he's a good player, but Blake Corum is a smaller running back. You got to be careful with that as well. I know Kyren is as well, don't get me wrong, but he's a smaller guy, right? So dealing with those injuries after kind of getting hit over and over again, the more touches, can he withstand and uphold an entire full season and then play at a super high level? That's kind of the question we'd have to wait and see if he can get that opportunity to one day, but we'll see. He doesn't fumble. Oh, I thought you played along with Trivia of the Day, Jeff. I'm just over here replying to your comment. If you played with the trivia. Shout out to you, though. Appreciate you for commenting your opinion there. Juan says, what up, Josh? I missed the last trivia. No worries. Anyways, on this one, I'm going Warren Moon on Kyren. I think we need to pay the man. He has earned it, and fumbling issue can be coached up. It's always occurred to me that they need to give him a little more rest and maybe he'll stop fumbling. Go Rams. Appreciate you, Juan. I kind of agree with you a little bit as well. I think maybe the Rams need to mix in Blake Corum a little bit, mix in some of their depth at running back right now to give Kyren those little breaks, especially if you want him to be that long-term end-of-season running back who's going to be your workhorse later down the road. That's definitely a key there for sure. Keep him healthy and rested, for the most part. But Warren Moon was your guest there. Thomas, he says, I think Les Snead being out there shows he really wants to be involved in the process. Trivia guess is Troy Aikman. So we got Troy Aikman, we got Warren Moon, and we have Joe Namath. The correct answer for last episode's Trivia of the Day, which was, what Hall of Fame quarterback once threw more interceptions than touchdowns in a season and still made the Pro Bowl that year? The correct answer was Joe Namath. So, the Roger Will, back on your hot streak. You were correct. Appreciate you, and appreciate all of you guys for playing along with Trivia of the Day. Again, whether you get it right or whether you get it wrong, we'll give you a shout out on the next episode, just like we got these folks shouted out here. If you want to play along with today's Trivia of the Day, well, play along right now. This is the question for today. Which tight end has the most career receiving touchdowns? Point blank period. Of these four tight ends, which one of these tight ends has the most career receiving touchdowns in the NFL history? Is it A, Rob Gronkowski, who some say is the GOAT of all GOATs at tight end? Is it B, Antonio Gates? Is it C, Tony Gonzalez? Or is it D, Travis Kelce? We got four absolute monster tight ends here. Which one of them has the most career receiving touchdowns of all of them? Tony Gonzalez, or let's go A, Rob Gronkowski, B, Antonio Gates, C, Tony Gonzalez, or D, Travis Kelce. Give your guesses down below in the comment section, whether you're right or whether you're wrong. We'll give you a shout out on the next episode that I'm on here at the Rams Digest. Other than that, that's going to do it for me on today's episode of the Rams Digest. Make sure you guys do us a favor and subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. That's going to do it for me. I'm your host, Josh Giron, and I'm out.